All right, what's up, guys? I'm back.
What's up?
Jared's back. We're back. Everyone else, AWOL. Don't know where they are. Just kidding. They're spread throughout the world right now. I think this is the most dispersed we've been since we started. It is the most dispersed all of us have been since we started recording.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing something, right, man?
Yeah.
Like
Talon's living life.
Yeah.
He's at the North Pole. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what's going on. Anyway, we're all over. But me and Jared are here for your listening and viewing pleasure if you're watching on YouTube. So hi, thanks. Thanks for joining. Today, we will be talking about how efficient are you? How can you become more efficient? So like whether it's work or like any sort of productivity that you want to increase, like how can you identify your weak spots and how do you improve upon those? I know last week you guys talked about
productivity,
trying not to be too productive, right? Like controlling yourself.
Societal stresses on productivity. Yeah.
Sure. So this episode is not the opposite. However, it's like now that you realize you don't have to be like 120% like society wants you to be, right? How do you make yourself 100% in the times that you need to be? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So Jared, kick it off.
Yeah. I had a lot of mixed feelings about our last episode, so it only made sense for us to talk about this since the rest of the guys who were on last episode aren't on this one. Talking about making good use of your time, not so much productivity, like not really worrying about getting something done or like having an end product, but also, we talk about taking time off. We talk about taking time for yourself and relaxing, meditating, doing yoga, whatever it is, whatever your sort of like meditation, self-care time is, but even using that efficiently, I think, because we can kind of personally, I was just watching Netflix earlier. I was watching this kind of like documentary-ish type show about Rome. I thought it was really interesting, but then actually I just watched one episode. But the other day I watched like 5 episodes in a row, and when Netflix tells you like, hey, are you still watching this?
It's probably a good time to quit.
Making sure that you're awake. Yeah, that was a little too much time. And it was good for me because my brain had been running all day. And granted, I'm still learning about history in a way. But I started to kind of like tune out, and I wasn't really learning a whole lot at that point, and I was wasting time. It had gone past the point of self-care, and it was getting into eating up my time that I could be actually doing something that I wanted to be. Because
I feel like a lot of people do that, just scrolling on their phone. It doesn't have to be Netflix, right? Like I'm sure everybody knows a time, probably daily, that they're just on their phone scrolling, and like an hour goes by, and it's like what the heck just happened to the past hour? Like I wanted to do something.
Yeah, Reels and TikTok. I mean, we've talked about social media, so we're already. I think all of us are pretty self-aware about that.
I think the only person you should follow is probably Lessons Learned podcast. I mean, they're a pretty good group of guys on there. I could talk firsthand. I'd give them a follow. Keep scroll through all their stuff. Click the link in the description for audiobooks. You can kill time listening to books.
Yeah, and there's like a little bell icon on most social media platforms. You can click that and then just always stay up to date. It's great.
Yeah.
Do it on YouTube too. I just figured that out.
If you want 30 days free of audiobooks, click the link in the description down below. Randy's not here, so we got to do it early. Knock it out before I forget.
That was so organic, man.
It's half organic. Anyway, my little segue's over. Jared, continue.
Yeah. It's not about, I guess the whole point of this conversation isn't to say that you should be on all day, every day, that you should like not hashtag no days off, We're not talking about that. We're talking about if you would put a dollar amount. This is how I think of it. And I've heard Jordan Peterson speak about this before. If you were to put a dollar amount on every hour of your day that you're awake, then if you added all of that up, how much of your time would be spent being productive? And then how much time would you waste? And then basically, how much money are you wasting per week and then per year? Kind of adding because money is something, it's universal. It's something that we can all relate to. So it gives you a good means of measurement of your time, and it adds value to your time. So it's not necessarily about like we said, productivity and creating something, and it's not about money. It's about having a way to measure time in a way that we can all understand.
Yeah, time is one thing we're never going to get back. I mean, that's a cliche statement, but it is true. It's 100% true.
And time's valuable, and we're not going to live on Earth forever.
Right.
So it's good. Like I said, it's good to take time for self-care and all of that, but also understand that time is precious and that you need to use it wisely. Like you don't need to take 2 hours, 3 hours of self-care every day. Well, maybe you do, depending on how stressful your life is. But I mean, that could just think about it. Like you turn one of those hours watching Netflix into an hour where you're communicating with your family, where you're on the phone with your mom or dad or sister or brother. Like it's valuable. It's so valuable. We should not overlook it.
Right. And I know, so let's talk about how to improve upon this, right? So I know one of the things I do, and I hate routine. I really hate routine. However, having a little bit of routine in your day, some structure to it to build the rest of the day off of, that's how I function best. So down here, I've been working like crazy. I'm dog tired. Like if you're watching on YouTube, like look at these bags, man.
You've been working long days, bro.
And I had 2 days off, and I still look like this. So yeah, I'm just tired all the time. But to try and stay on routine, to try and have some rigidity, is that a word? Structure to my day.
Rigidity?
I don't think so. We'll just go with structure. To add some structure and routine to my day, I wake up early, and it's actually funny because I'm kind of gaining some followers, like not like online followers, like physical human followers, friends, one would say. I do yoga every morning. So I leave the hotel 6 o'clock, get to the beach, overlook the ocean, 6:30, doing yoga for an hour every day, every single day off. So one, it keeps your sleep schedule as best as it can on track. Some days are a little more tired than the others. Like today, I didn't want to get up, but I did, and I did it anyway to keep that routine. It's good for your body. Like we've preached yoga over and over again. So starting your day off right is probably the only structure I like to have, right? So the beginning of the day, like I wake up, I know what I'm going to do. Same thing every day for like 2 or 3 hours to begin it. And then from there, it's whatever happens, right? Like I don't like planning stuff. But that little bit sets me up for productivity and efficiency for the rest of the day, because now, I did my exercise for the day. I had my nourishment, at least for the morning of that day, and my brain's good to go, and I've got energy, right? So I'm not waking up at 10 or noon or swapping my sleep schedule, right? Like having a little bit of structure goes a long way. And I think that's probably the most important way for me personally that I stay productive. And there's definitely times, like I said, I scroll my phone. I'm like, shit, I didn't do anything today. Like I've been on my phone for, however long. And I hate that. I hate wasting time. So it's actually funny we're doing this episode today, Jared, because you didn't know this. But today people asked me, like, oh, you want to go do something? I was like, no, today, like I need to focus. Like I've been working or like relaxing too hard. Like today, I need to focus on my little side hustle here, my photography and the podcast. And it's great because I messaged you. I was like, hey, man, I'm free for like 2 hours. Are you free? And you're like, yeah.
Let's
and
do
here
it.
we are, man. here we are, right?
Man,
So spur
internet's
of the moment
magical.
recording.
Tell you what.
Yeah. It's what, night there, day here, so crazy.
Yeah, 8:30.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so that's how I combat it, and it helps me a lot. And realizing that, you need to take the time, even though, so that's the goal of it, right? Like I took those 2 to 3 hours in the morning for self-care, for some structure, friendship, relationship, communication with others, like human interaction is huge. And now the rest of the day, like I can sit down and grind away, knowing I've already accomplished something this morning. I've already exercised. And that just helps me so much. I don't know how you do it, Jared. What's your secret?
Yeah, actually, I like that you mentioned that because I finished the book that you gifted me for our early Christmas present exchange. Yeah, Make Your Bed by Admiral Mcraven. Yeah, and he mentions starting off the morning by making your bed. I mean, it's the title of the book. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, so that's one thing that I started doing maybe like a year ago, is making my bed. And it's kind of like similar to your routine. However, it's not as extensive, but it's a very good step to go, it's a very good step in the right direction. It gives you some accomplishment first thing in the morning, gives you a sense of that accomplishment, and then it just continues to snowball throughout the day. But I'm not going to talk about stuff that everyone's already heard. I think structure. What are you about to say?
I got something for you. I know you do this way more than anyone else I know, and I've started taking notes from you, and I do it myself too when I'm like really stressed or like I have a lot of things I need to do. Just make a to-do list, and write it down, like hand write a to-do list. Dude, you do this all the time. Like
there's a lot of power in writing stuff down.
Yeah, for everyone listening, like whenever I reach out to Jared, I'll be like, "Hey man, did you edit a post? Did you do this? Did you do that?" He'll send me a picture of his to-do list. He's like, "Bro, I already wrote it down. I'm working on it." I was like, "Dude, I love you, man. Like it's great." And there's something so satisfying about just crossing through something you've done. It's like, yeah, I've accomplished that. Hacked, right?
Oh yeah.
It feels great. And I think one of the more important things you said is the snowball effect. Like it works both ways, 100%. So if you go, I just realized I say 100% a lot.
Hundo P.
Stop saying that. Hundo P. Yeah. But whether it's a negative snowball effect or a positive snowball effect, it definitely happens. So you wake up early, eat healthy, maybe take a nap like I'm about to do after this recording. But, you've already done stuff. So like now you can do something else. You're energized still. You're just way more productive and efficient while doing that. Where on the flip side, if you sleep all day, you wake up late, you've already probably missed breakfast, so you're probably going to eat something unhealthy or miss a meal that day, and then you don't have the energy you would if you woke up early, exercised.
And you'll be running behind.
Yeah, it snowballs. You're trying to play catch up, and then all your friends, like especially if there's a time difference between someone you're trying to communicate with or work for, a lot of people are working from home these days, so like having some sort of structure in the morning is the biggest factor for me to being productive. And so today I'm just going to grind away at my photos. That's
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be something like there's got to be some psychological science behind it. You sleep in and then it just snowballs into this bad day, and it's got to be something with like some switch in your mind, switch the flip. and the same for the opposite as well. I was trying to think of a smarter word. Adverse? No. I can't think of the word
Opposite
right
works
now.
just fine, my guy.
I can't think of the word. Yeah, if you make your bed and then you do yoga and go to the beach and talk to friends and family, then that can just snowball into something good.
Yeah. Actually, that book that I read, it's a little off topic, but it helps a lot. So the Little Book of Huga that I recommended a few episodes back, I finished it finally. It's all about how the Danes are like the happiest people in the world, right? And Huga is this concept of, happiness, like togetherness. Just it's like the Christmas feeling all year round, right? So like how do we get to that? And number one thing was human connection, like human relationships. So having those relationships in your life, like being able to call someone, say you wake up, I called you, Jared, right? We talked for 10 minutes. That's a good start to my day. Like I've had that communication, and now like I can move on. Like I feel like I've done something. I've caught up with you, like seen what you're up to. So yeah, it's nice. And then you're not wasting time just scrolling. Maybe a phone call saves me an hour of like texting you to find out what's up, because texting is horrible. Unless you're like this new age like Joe.
Yeah, Snapchat, everything.
Yeah, way rather just call someone. So it's about just like being efficient, right? So like not wasting your time. It's great. And I got another story real quick. So the other day we woke up, did our yoga, had coffee, and went on a hike. And we finished by like 1 p.m. I woke up at 5, finished at 1 p.m. Now, I'm not saying this for everybody, and not everyone's as gifted as I am right now to have hikes available or the beach available. I understand that. But finding something that you enjoy, maybe going out downtown for a cup of coffee or something, right? You've already done a ton of stuff. And it was only 1 o'clock at that time. And me and my friend looked at each other. We're like, dude, I thought it was like 7 p.m. already. Like, we've done so much today. I was like, yeah, it feels fantastic, doesn't it? So that snowball effect is totally real. And just making the most of your time is great. So when it comes to work, like, what are some tips you have for being productive, Jared? Minus like a to-do list. Is there anything you do to help at work and just really grind away at the times you are supposed to be productive?
Yeah. So, before, to kind of like build on my last point, I think it's important that we analyze how much of our time we think we're actually using and not wasting. And right now, I think I've been working on it a lot. I've been working on my own productivity and trying not to waste time a lot lately. And I still think I'm maybe at 70% productivity and like 30% time wasted. So if you have a 24-hour day, and let's say that I sleep for 8 hours. It's not true, but let's just say that's the number. So you got 16 hours left in the day. 30% of 3. So like, let's say I waste 3.5 to 4 or 4.5. I don't know. I can't do quick math like that. Let's say
That
I
sounds
waste
good to me, man.
Let's say I waste like 3.5 to 4.5 hours per day. Like that seems like a lot. But I've also been thinking about this and working on this for like the past month or two. And before that, it was like I was wasting like 6 or 7 hours a day, like awake time. And that's insane. That's absolutely insane. Like that's,
especially when you're only sleeping 4 hours, like I know you are. It's not good.
That's so. I mean, be truthful with yourself first. First of all, be truthful with yourself. Like, actually, I tried to do one thing where I was tracking every minute of my day, and that only lasted a day. Like, that's hard to do. If you've ever actually had, you have your notes section, your notes application in your phone, or you have like a notepad, actually block out like 9 to 9:05, brushed my teeth and flossed. Like actually everything you do in the day. And that'll really, it'll only really take a day. It'll only take like 4 hours of your morning, and then you'll realize what you do with your time. It's insane. Like 9:30 a.m. to 11:15 a.m. scrolled through Instagram and looked at reels and TikToks. Like it's real. That's when all of this becomes real, and that's what I did. So I only did that for like a day, but then I also started to have to-do list throughout my day. We already talked about that, and then after doing that, I got more productive, and I started to have structure in my day, and I had goals throughout the day that I had to accomplish. But then I still noticed that I was wasting time. I'm still wasting some time, but I've cut that number in half. Like
That's
the
awesome.
time wasted, I've cut it by 50%. I mean, I think that's pretty incredible for myself
That is.
personally.
And you're going to have good days and bad days, too, right? So some days you're just going to need to catch up on sleep, and that's not being not productive. That made sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like giving your body what you need. So again, that plays last episode into this episode. So understand when you need to just take a break and like recoup. Otherwise, you're going to half-ass everything, and what's the point at that point? So take care of yourself first, and then the times that you need to be productive, really maximize that. It's funny that you said like your day to day, like your hour to hour or whatever. I've noticed, dude, as much as I preach, like I try to be productive, I struggle so much. I'll do stuff like in between, say I edit like one photo, or even like as I'm editing pictures, right? Like I'll hit like 2 sliders and like, oh, that looks cool. And then I'll get distracted and look at my phone, and 30 minutes goes by. I was like, oh man, I didn't finish this picture
We
yet.
live in an age
like,
of distractions. I tell you what.
Distractions? Yeah,
distractions. I can't speak it all today.
No, you can't.
My brain's shot. I was in
it's
class
past your
all
bedtime.
day.
Oh man. But yeah, so maybe a technique for that is throw my phone elsewhere, like don't keep it in the same room as me.
Yeah. Yes.
And we've talked about that with sleep 100%. I did it again. Damn, I did it again 100%. We did it with sleep as well. So yeah, there's eliminate distractions is a huge factor. I don't think we both thought of until I just now said it. So get rid of these distractions.
That was going to be my next point. So what distractions, like where am I wasting all this time? Where was I wasting that 60% before I cut it down to 30%? Where was that time going? And I'll tell you exactly where it was going, because I tracked every minute of my day, every minute for a day. That's all it took. So in the morning, I would waste, like, I like waking up early so I can have a slow morning. The point of me waking up early is so I can go downstairs, so I can enjoy my coffee, so I can read a book. I haven't been reading as much as I like to lately, and I've been aware of that. So after tracking my day, I've realized, man, I'll wake up at like 5:30 or 6 a.m. and I will lay on my butt and look at my phone for an hour. An hour, sometimes longer. Like, I'm not joking. That's an hour wasted. I mean, I think we can all agree that that's not good. That's not healthy. It's not good to just... Anyways. Yeah, and then I would waste time. Man, it's... a lot of it is on my phone. I tell you what. A lot of it's on my phone. It's bad.
I think that's my biggest time waster, too. Like... I don't want to take notes. Because I'm going to be embarrassed. Maybe I should do it, but
do it.
You should make a post about that. Screenshot your notes if you still have that on your phone.
All right. Yeah, I will.
Screenshot that and make it an Instagram post and be like, hey, learn from my mistakes. This is my, dare I say, lessons learned. Ooh. Yeah, your phone, dude.
A lot of it's on the phone. And then, yeah, so that's my morning, basically.
Yeah.
It's all my phone. And then, aside from that, at work. So I waste a lot of time at work. We talk about, what is it? Talon mentioned it on an episode 2 weeks ago, I think. It was like the 80-20 rule, where you can accomplish 80% of your work in 20% of the time or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically saying, bringing light to the fact that we are all very distracted at work, and we just BS and we look at our phones. and we talk to people, which isn't bad. Talking to people is good. I like, people are okay. I don't have a problem with people. A little, but
you're so off topic. Oh my God, reel it in.
Yeah. So, I mean, like looking at your work day, because your work day is roughly 8 hours of your day, and kind of figure out where you waste a lot of your time, and then come up with systems, whatever system works for you. The system that worked for me was I would I would block things out into quarters. So the first quarter of my workday, and actually I started to do this with my entire day. So the first quarter of my day would be time for myself. But work-wise, the first quarter of your day could be something like catching up on emails and sending out emails, and then writing a list of important tasks that you need to do today and important tasks that just came up that you need to accomplish soon. And then the second quarter will be starting on the big tasks. So like knocking out as many big tasks as you can, like put in headphones if you need to. Like I just talked to someone who was walking around our offices and like looking at our posture and looking at our desks and talking to us about posture and productivity. And one of the things she mentioned was putting in headphones. Like if you want to get a lot of work done in a short amount of time, then and if you want to get into that flow state that people call it, then do what you have to do to just get your head in the game and take care of work.
Yeah, because the headphones is great. I did that actually a lot before I left, and it helps so much because all around you, I don't know what I mean. Everybody's office is different. Like even if you're in an office or whatever, if you can try to do this, yeah, like headphones in, just like seclude yourself from the outside world. Like become very present with what you are doing, task at hand, and that's what like noise canceling headphones. There's no distractions. Like your eyes are focused on the screen. You might see a little peripheral, like somebody walk by or something like that, but you're focused, and it helps a ton.
You are in the zone, and it helps. I don't know how. I can't explain it. It helps me not look at my phone as much. Yeah. And then also there's always crosstalk going on. You know, my office has quite a bit of people in it. So there's always crosstalk. There's always conversations that you kind of want to like listen into, or you hear like a buzzword or something like this, you know, Dogecoin. And I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Dogecoin? What's going on? How much did you buy? And you just get distracted. So put in the headphones and get in a good posture, have your drink, your coffee or water, whatever it is, and just get to work. Yeah, that saves so much. That saves hours a day at work. I'm not even kidding.
And I could start a whole conversation. Like I was talking to someone yesterday, how I think we should do a whole episode about this. Is how I don't really agree with the 8 to 4, 9 to 5 hours. Who designed that? Why is that a thing? Like if I can accomplish all the work that I need to accomplish within 3 hours of a day, why am I working just to be there? Like it's a pet peeve, man. That's why I want to work for myself. I want to be an entrepreneur. I control my own hours, right? And I think that's why entrepreneurship is so attractive to me, because what I put in is what I'm going to get out, versus a 9 to 5 job where I can half-ass everything and get the same amount of benefits I would if I killed it, right? That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
But the productivity, I think if you are trying to work for yourself, I think you'll see that firsthand. Like you have to be productive if you want to make it, like you have to grind. And that's what I'm doing. Like on my off days, I don't really have off days.
No days off. So Chris is hardcore.
No days, hashtag no days off. No, but it's like, it is important because I take the self-care time, and I grind when I have to grind, So not everybody's like that. Some people are comfortable with their 9 to 5 job. And for those people, yeah, what Jared just said is 100%. I did it again. Oh my God. Is accurate. It is accurate. So, yeah. We're going to count. That's number 4.
So I was actually going to get to the whole me time as a part of my day. So I think I got through 2 quarters of it.
Yeah, you're at like 2 quarters. I'm waiting for the third and fourth quarter.
The third quarter is you're focusing on ways that you can, like if you have other jobs within your work. Like for myself, I'm an egress instructor, and I work on Whoop as well. So in that third quarter, I also run training days. So in that third quarter, I will, have a whiteboard for training days. So I'll work on that. I'll work on, volunteer stuff that helps me, but is also a part of my job. And then in that third quarter, you can also think about processes within your work. Like say you don't have any side jobs. Say you don't have additional duties at your job. Maybe you could find one, because if you're gonna be there, like if you can't cut out early when you finish the work, then do something that brings you satisfaction, that helps other people, that, you know, brings you joy and a sense of accomplishment that isn't your main job. I think that's really important to keep things interesting at work, personally.
Plus, people look up to you, and you become that guy that like people feel comfortable. You care about others. You care about like, how can I fix the situation that's going on that maybe some people either A, don't have the time to fix, or B, just don't really care to fix it. Not to say there's always a fix, but pretty sure there's always a fix to something, no matter where you work.
I'd say probably about 95% of the time, yeah.
I was going to say 100%, but I didn't want to do
it. There absolutely is. There you go.
Yeah.
That's your new 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is you time. So the fourth quarter is me going to the gym because I finished all the work I need to, which is what happened today. I went to the gym after work, and that was my me time. Self-improvement. It's a way for me to blow off steam. I recommend, if you are going to add structure into your day, then at least 1 hour of that time should be some form of physical activity, because without going too off topic, there are all these like brain app games that are shown to like improve cognitive function and all this stuff. But after like studies done on those games, they show that playing those games only helps you improve at those specific games. They don't actually help slow the process of cognitive
aging,
deterioration.
Good Lord, dude.
100%. Yeah, cognitive deterioration. That's what I'm trying to think of. But studies have shown that the one thing that does actually slow the process of cognitive deterioration after you reach age 25 is exercise. Physical exercise is the one big key thing. I'm not going to say the only, because, you know, who knows? We probably know nothing right now at this point in time as a species. But yeah, I mean, physical exercise has been shown to help with that. So while you're structuring your day, put that in there, at least for like 30 minutes to start out. Maybe even like 15 minutes to start out. Take a walk. Take a lap, Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that last quarter of your work day is me time. And I mean, it doesn't have to just be your work day schedule. It can be your whole day schedule, depending on your job. Kind of figure out what works for you. But I find that breaking your day up into quarters helps a lot. Helps so much.
That's awesome. You know, yeah, because I said I don't like doing my mornings. I like to just take the day will take me where it takes me. But maybe I should structure it like that. Like just split it into quarters. I definitely have the first quarter down. So maybe I should do like the next few, and that should help everybody. That was really good. I enjoyed listening to that because I never thought of that. And of course, you would be the one to be doing that. It's because you're all about this self-improvement. Ugh, gross.
I don't know.
No.
Psychology, it fascinates me. I'm really interested in it. I've never taken any classes or courses on it. So I just want to preface this whole thing with that. I'm by no means professional in any sense of the word. But I just like it. I enjoy it.
You'd be getting some better sleep if you were.
Probably.
But that's besides the point. So maybe your last eighth of the day, you should focus on winding down and trying to go to bed early, Jared Rumsey. Maybe that'll help you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, maybe keep that phone in another room. So we talked about ways to improve it. That 4-quarter structure thing. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm sure everybody, even when they think they're being productive, they're wasting time, and that that first story you said, who was that? Jordan Peterson said it about
Yes.
the dollar amount to the hours.
Yep.
Yeah, that's huge. I think about that every day. Like, how much time did I just waste? And it sucks. And I think that's real quick. One last thing is I think that's why I hate waiting around so much. You know, we all hear the term hurry up and wait for the military. Like, that is military life. Like, hurry up and wait, right? God, I hate it. I hate just wasting time when I know I can be doing something productive. But on the flip side, when I'm doing something productive, I kind of wish I wasn't. So grass is always greener, but you got to find that happy medium. And, you know, when you need to be productive, don't waste the time. And then you get done earlier, so then you can go have some self-care time. And that's the key right there.
Or if you get so busy, like I kind of am right now, if you get so busy to the point where having self-care time, like, you know, we don't have kids. That's one thing we should mention. We don't have kids.
Yeah.
So obviously, I know some people say that you don't actually become an adult until you have kids. And I agree with that. So if you have kids, bless you. I understand you don't have free time. So if you don't have free time, maybe take control of what you can. So like for you, Chris, if you mentioned hurry up and wait with the military. I mean, we do hurry up and wait a lot. So I bring a book with me. Like I always have a book sitting in my passenger seat. When I go to the clinic and I have an appointment, I show up early, but I'm reading my book. And that helps a lot. So try to, if you can't fit in time, like blocks throughout the day, then try to create a little bit of time.
That's smart. That's super smart. So hopefully you guys enjoyed what we talked about today. You know, exercise is key. Human relationships is key. And then taking our advice on having some structure throughout your day and being productive. I really hope you guys actually implement that in your lives because it makes a huge difference. And I'm going to try Jared's 4-quarter step process for productivity. We're going to coin that.
First,
yeah. Shoot.
Oh,
yeah.
Can we like pop it the title?
Depending on who edits this, yeah. Sweet.
I would say try to figure out like what percentage of your time every day is well spent and what percentage is wasted.
Do that first before anything else we say, and you'll be shocked, like Jared was, and I'm afraid to do because I will also be shocked. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Jared, with the subscriptions coming at you.
This has been Lessons Learned. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Like we said earlier in the episode, we have an Audible link. You can get free Audible for 30 days. You can listen to whatever you want. Audiobooks is great. So if you have a long drive, listen to it in your car and then listen to books. If you don't know how to read, then you can listen to Audible too. This has been Lessons Learned. Check out our YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, see ya!